It's time to get your geek on with Dave Gramillion.
Ah, yes! Welcome here. This is Get Your Geek On, and I am Dave Gramillion. This is the premier talk radio show for Star Wars, Star Trek, DC, Marvel, esports, video gaming, really all things geek that have dominated this little world of ours. You see, geek is not what it was 20 or 30 years ago. Geek is in. Geek is very in. Geek is now the mainstream, and we are here to talk the latest and greatest that is geek right here on 930 AM The Answer Talk Radio and 930amtheanswer.com. This is Season 2, Episode number 36, and tonight we've got a fun show lined up. We are officially ready to kick off the second annual Geeky March Madness. We are going to be breaking down the prizes, what exactly we're going to be judging the characters on, who the characters are, the whole 9 yards. This is the show to listen to get in on Geeky March Madness. We have some Star Wars news in here. Are we getting a Kenobi movie? Are we going to go down this dark path of mediocrity and just have a Kenobi movie? We'll talk about that as well. Coming up after the bottom of the hour news break, a lot of DCEU news, and not a lot of it is good. There's some talk coming out, reports coming out of from Warner Brothers that apparently things were a lot worse than they led on, not only for Zack Snyder, but for Ben Affleck as well. Allegedly, the rough cut of Zack Snyder's Justice League movie was, quote, unwatchable. Wow. We will get into that coming up here in a bit, as well as some Marvel news that we want to get into. Black Panther is officially here. Now, I already saw it. I saw it back on Monday on an advanced screening, but I'll tell you what I thought of the movie. I'm going to tell you our predictions for the box office and that end credits scene. Yeah, that's going to be very interesting. But first, let me go ahead and introduce my partners in crime here in the studio with me. If you look to my left, your right across the radio dial, you will see the man spinning. No, not quite. We're not there yet. You will see the founder, the Grand Admiral, the Grand Poobah, and High Muckety Muck for the Star Wars Society of San Antonio. That'll be our minion, Peter Gonzalez.
Crickets are back. They love me. They really love
me. They missed you. They really did.
Better than the cockroaches.
Minion, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
How's Swassa?
It's great. You know, we got some great things planned for this year, and we're hyped and ready.
Awesome. Very cool. All righty. If you look further to my left, your right across the radio dial, you will see the man that is spinning the ones and zeros. He is our sound prognosticator. He is Goose. Goose, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
All right.
What was that from?
That's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, okay.
Cabbage guy.
I thought it was, Gremlins or something.
No. Goose, how you doing?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's new with you?
Oh, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot right now. Just thinking of some things that can happen in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, buddy. We're gonna have some news to talk about there. But first, let me get something out of the way here real quick. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by the school shooting in Broward County, South Florida. A horrific, tragic event that never should have happened in the first place. And I know a lot of people are against the whole thoughts and prayers things, but you know what? It's what we have. So, and there's nothing wrong with the power of prayer. So we are certainly going to offer up our thoughts and prayers to the victims, their families, their community, indeed the entire state of Florida that was affected by this just horrific and cowardly act. So that's, oh man, these are happening too often. Ugh, gracious. But let's get on to some good news.
Woo-hoo. Good news.
Next week we will have a guest call into the studio, and that will be Jerry Milani. Jerry Milani is the PR director for Wizard World itself.
Friend of the show, Jerry Milani.
Absolutely. He is an alumni, so this will be his second appearance next week. They made a very interesting announcement that they are partnering with Sony, Sony Pictures. And they will be able to then pull over some celebrities from Sony to come appear at some of their many cons all over the place. And we're going to have him on to talk about not only that Sony announcement, but also Wizard World's future for 2018, because they've already canceled some cons. People think they're circling the drain. What's going on? Are they going to announce some more cons? What's going on? And so we will have him here, and we will put the tough questions to him and get the answers that y'all want to hear. Also, next week, we have received news.
Well, we just talked about it.
Yeah, we've received other news about the show itself.
Oh, wait, hold on. We're still gonna stay as a show, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's good news.
Okay.
It's good news. The good news is that we're getting a new producer. And
I'm sorry. What? Wait, I can be a co-host now?
No.
Dang it.
Well, you weren't before. So.
Does this mean I get to push the buttons?
Oh, you push buttons every week.
So
know.
next week we have some big news. How much can I say? Well, okay.
No, you can't say nothing.
I can say that something happened.
Something did happen.
Yes, I
You
can
can't say what it is.
Well, no, I can't. But that'll be next week. But trust me, monstrous announcement coming up next week. Next week we'll be able to say it. We're muzzled right now. We cannot say, unfortunately, what happened. But next week. Oh, it's going to be awesome. Okay, so. With that being said, I think we're ready to go and kick this thing off. Let's talk.
Hang on.
Some geeky March Madness. You like that? I tried stalling for as long as I could.
Yes, and you did well. Thank you.
Our second annual Geeky March Madness tournament is officially underway. Kind of. Sort of. You can sign up now. I mean, the tournament itself won't begin until next Wednesday. But the sign-up period ends Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So there's still time for you to sign up and enter your bracket. Signing up by itself doesn't do you any good. You got to fill out a bracket. We actually had somebody sign up and didn't make it a single pick. And I'm like, really? I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, I know there's an email that goes out. You have to confirm, verify your email address and all that, but still, come on. It was like days old or something. So here's the deal. So what is the Geeky March Madness? So we started this last year. It was based off a tournament I did when I just had a podcast, and it was the top 16 Jedi versus top 16 Sith, and it was only Star Wars. Well, since I bumped it up to radio, that means we have to bump up everything else as well because, this is the big time. Let's do this right. So we have a 64 character bracket, 16 DC, 16 Marvel, 16 video game, 16 Star Wars characters. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
Yes. The best of the best.
Best of the best, and all characters are in their prime. So you don't have to say, well, is it Luke Skywalker from A New Hope or is it Luke Skywalker? No, it's Luke at his best in canon. We're not doing the whole EU this or what Dark Empire that.
It's Luke Skywalker, Episode 9.
Yeah, there you go. So all characters are in their prime. Let me get that out there real quick, and. This is so much fun because you get some really great matchups, and there is a touch of the madness in there. So you can think about, who would win in a fight, Spider-Man or Thor? That's hypothetical. We'll get to the characters here in a second. But keep in mind, it's March Madness. Yes, Duke can lose in the second round of the tournament. It's possible. It's entirely possible that Chewbacca could beat Luke Skywalker. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
And where can they go to sign up, David?
They can go over to getyourgeekon.org. That will be our main website. It's the show's website. And it's right there, right underneath the home module is what they call it. You just scroll down like once, and it brings you to the next module. And you'll see, click on the picture, boom, you can sign up. That's all you got to do. Getyourgeekon.org is where you got to go.
And upsets happen all the time. We were surprised by some stuff from last
Upsets happen
year.
all the time.
I was like, how the heck did that happen?
Let me tell you how they happen. Okay, keep in mind that they're not playing basketball, so we have to actually judge them. We have a committee of judges all set up, ready to go, and so we say who we would win based off of 5 categories. And the categories are strength, duh, intellect, again, duh, durability, and stamina. All right, so they can dish it out, but can they take it also? Number 4 is popular vote. Every week, we will put a poll, a series of polls up on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/GYGO Radio. and you will vote. Your vote counts for 20% of the overall score. Whoever gets the popular vote gets that category. And then the fifth and final category is a random roll of the D20, because you have that touch of madness in there. So if Luke rolls a 2 and Chewbacca rolls an 18, okay, and if he wins the popular vote, Chewbacca, that is not Luke, okay, that's 2 categories right there. Clearly, I would say that Chewbacca would win the third category, which is strength. You would think. So he wins 3 out of 5. Chewbacca just upset Luke Skywalker.
It can happen.
Hypothetically, don't freak out or anything, but I'm just saying that's how that sort of thing happens.
Well, because Link made a run last year that we didn't see coming.
Link made a run. He went to the Elite Eight, I think, last year. I think that's how far Link ended up getting. And so,
because even Vader fell about midway through, and I was surprised.
I think Vader dropped out of the Sweet 16, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible these upsets can happen, which is what makes for the madness. Because you can have, Texas A&M all of a sudden make a huge run into the Elite Eight and they come out of nowhere. I mean, it happens every year. There was a year when Gonzaga was unheard of, and they made a run to the Final Four. Butler does the same thing. There's always a Cinderella story every year, and we are no exception. So it's so much fun over at getyourgeekon.org. You can sign up right there on the website. Now, here are the prizes. Last year, I think we had like a total of 4 sponsors, and maybe I was one of them. I just threw stuff in to fatten up the prizes or something. So this year, oh my goodness, we have a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 different sponsors.
Some of which are going to be local only unless you're willing to travel.
That's true. And we'll get to that here in a second. So here's what happens. The person with the highest score at the end of the tournament gets to pick their prize. They get to pick their prize. And
Goose
then
Minion and their families are ineligible to win.
that is correct, unfortunately.
Even Bob and Spock are out.
Even Bob and
Spock.
Spock, yep, they can't play either. The second place person with the second highest score then picks from what's left, and so on until we're just out of prizes. The gaming prize is a bundle from our friends at HyperX. It is a Cloud Revolver S headset, an Alloy FPS Cherry MX Blue mechanical keyboard, an extra large mouse pad, like the size of my laptop, size of a mouse pad, a Pulsefire FPS gaming mouse, and a HyperX hat. All of that came from HyperX. It's like $400 worth of stuff right there. That's tremendous. The headset is awesome. The Cloud Revolver S is like one of their top lines. It's awesome. Just tremendous. The esports prize. This comes to us from our friends over at the Dallas Fuel. The Dallas Fuel Overwatch League team will be contributing a team autographed jersey. A team autographed jersey from our friends over at the Dallas Fuel.
Very
That
nice.
is awesome. That is
Very nice of them right there.
that is so cool. Okay, let's see here. Also, from our friends at Night Watch Games, local store here in town. Night Watch Games is off of 1604 and Blanco Road. And they're contributing 2 board games. One of them is Legend of the Five Rings, and the second one is called Flamme Rouge. It's French sounding. Now, these aren't little rinky-dink board games either. These are some serious board games that they're giving away. I'm calling this the Chief Geek Prize. The winner of this one will get a Gwenpool Gallery statue, a Catwoman statue from the New Adventures of Batman, and I'll throw in a Star Wars Issue 0 Ralph McQuarrie variant cover comic and 2 Darth Maul graphic novels.
Nice.
So that goes into that prize. You get comics, you get a variant comic, and you get 2 statues out of that as well. And then this I'm particularly proud of, and I want to thank our friends at Legion M for chipping in this. Participant prizes. Because, all right, so if your bracket's busted in the first round and you're thinking, oh man, this sucks, you can still win. We have got 4 t-shirts and some swag to give out from Legion M, and so we will pick 4 brackets at total random, and you will win.
And we thank our folks at Legion M and our friend of the show, John Biscardi, for that.
And that leaves us with our 2, what I call San Antonio area prizes, because these are limited just to residents either of the San Antonio area or those, if you're going to travel, if you're coming down, all right, no problem, you're eligible as well. First, we want to thank our friends over at SeaWorld. SeaWorld has contributed 2 one-day passes to their general park and their water park. You get to spend the entire day out there on their dime. Well, of course, food and drinks are extra and everything, but you get to walk in, no problem.
Free admission.
Free admission from our friends over at SeaWorld. Again, that's for San Antonio area residents. If you're like, a few of our Canadian listeners, unless you're willing to travel, it's not going to do you like a lot of good to win.
Yeah, the weather's better down here.
Yeah, ain't that the
Isn't
truth?
it though?
Hey.
And then the second prize, Laser Legend has stepped it up big time. Our friends at Laser Legend will throw in a party for 10 people.
Yeah.
Out at their place, and that includes 2 laser tag or miniature golf games for each person, 3 pizzas, drinks, and 30-minute unlimited arcade play per person.
Nice.
30 minutes is a long time in an arcade.
Especially if you're playing Star Trek pinball.
Yeah, well, if you're trying to beat my score, good luck. That ain't going to happen. But,
Or our score in Star Wars Battle Pod Co-op.
Absolutely. So that's the prize lineup right there. HyperX has granted us a gaming bundle, including a headset, keyboard, mouse pad, gaming mouse, and a hat. Dallas Fuel Overwatch League team is giving us a team autographed jersey. Nightwatch Games will be giving us Legend of the Five Rings and Flamme Rouge. I'll be chipping in a Star Wars Issue 0 variant cover comic. It's the Ralph McQuarrie variant, along with 2 Darth Maul graphic novels. Our friends over at Dragon's Lair Alamo Ranch, that's the new Dragon's Lair on the west side of San Antonio, out there by SeaWorld, in fact. They'll be chipping in a Gwenpool gallery statue and a Catwoman statue as well. Legion M and our friend John Biscardi will be donating 4 T-shirts and swag that we will give away at random. So even if your bracket's busted, you may still win something, which is pretty sweet. And we have 2 San Antonio prizes, a pair of tickets to SeaWorld and Aquatica, and a party for 10 people at Laser Legend. So,
And of course, if you missed any of this, you can go to getyourgeekon.org, click on the March Madness link, and find out all these prizes there as well.
Now, I was able to kind of do a rough estimate, and all told, we're giving away close to $1,000 in prizes.
Whoa.
$1,000 up for grabs. Over at getyourgeekon.org. All you got to do is just sign up, fill out your bracket.
Very nice.
So who do we have in the bracket? So 64 characters, and I'm running out of time, so let's just rip right through it. We have, in the DC bracket, the number 1 seed is Superman. He's taking on number 16, The Flash. Number 8, Supergirl, will be facing off against number 9, Shazam. Ooh, magic. Ooh. Number 5, Martian Manhunter is taking on number 12, Sinestro. Number 4, Wonder Woman is taking on number 13, Firestorm. Number 6, Green Lantern is taking on number 11, Brainiac. Number 3, Doomsday faces off against number 14, Batman. Ew. Number 7, Aquaman.
Anything can happen.
That's true. Anything can happen. Number 7, Aquaman takes on number 10, Black Adam. And number 2, Darkseid squares off against number 15, Cyborg.
Ooh.
That is going to be in our first bracket, the DC bracket. Imagine if Superman wins, he faces off against either Supergirl, so it's another Kryptonian, or he faces Shazam, which is magic.
Boy.
Shazam may have the upset and might go to the Sweet 16.
It's possible.
That will be fun. In the Star Wars bracket, the number 1 seed is Luke Skywalker, and he will square off against number 16, Chewbacca.
Yep.
That won't last long. Number 8, Darth Tyrannus, also known as Count Dooku, will face off against Ahsoka Tano. Please keep in mind, we are doing canon characters only for Star Wars, so Star Wars fans don't get their knickers in a twist.
Oh, that'll still happen.
Yeah, it will. Number 5, Darth Vader will face off against number 12, Ezra Bridger. Yeah, that's not going to last long.
Ezra.
Ezra Bridger, voiced by Get Your Geek On alumni Taylor Gray.
Yes.
Number 4, Obi-Wan Kenobi against his granddaughter, oh, God, did I let that slip? Oops. Against number 13, Rey. Number 6, Mace Windu against number 11, General Grievous.
You mean Mace Windu?
Yeah, Mace Windu. Hello. Number 3, Yoda against number 14, Kylo Ren.
Go, Yoda. Avenge me.
Number 7, Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, against number 10, Darth Maul.
That's what I'm dying for. That's what I've been dying to see.
That's going to be a good fight right there. Number 2, Darth Sidious will face number 15, Jango Fett.
You know, it's going to be a weird time paradox if we get Darth Vader versus Anakin.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to work out exactly.
It's something from the space-time continuum.
Going to be kind of
We need the Doctor to come in, work on this.
That's exactly what will have. The Doctor will referee the fight. Oh, goodness. In the Marvel bracket, number 1 is Thor. Thor, number 1 against number 16, Venom in the first round. Yeah, good luck with that one. Number 8, Vision versus number 9, Rogue.
Ooh.
Remember, Rogue's chief power is she touches you and she drains your energy. Vision's big power is that you can't touch him.
Among other things, yes.
Anything could possibly happen. I'm not counting Rogue out.
Not yet, anyway.
That and plus, I know Jenny Lee cosplay, and if I didn't pick Rogue, she'd probably beat me.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Number 5, Silver Surfer against number 12, Captain America.
Go Cap. Go Team Cap.
Number 4, Thanos versus number 13, Spider-Man.
Uh-oh.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be short.
Squish.
Number 6, Magneto versus number 11, Doctor Doom. Speaking of short fights, yeah.
Wait, Magneto versus Doctor Doom?
Yeah, in the first round.
Oh.
Yeah, we had to-
Oh, that's going to be a good fight.
Number 3, Apocalypse versus number 14, Wolverine.
Oh, boy. Don't count out Logan.
Number 7, Doctor Strange versus number 10, the Hulk. Talk about brains versus brawn.
Yes.
Anything.
Hulk smash.
And then here's the one that I'm going to be interested in. I'm getting ahead of myself. But number 2, Jean Grey versus number 15, Iron Man.
I might say Iron Man, all he has to do is buy her some drinks.
He is pretty suave and he's got
When
the
he
seduction
is
on
sober,
side.
the I stands for is the intoxicated Iron
Imagine
Man.
if Jean Grey and Doctor Strange win, they would face each other. Jean Grey versus Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
Now that's an intriguing matchup. And finally, in the video game bracket, how much time do I have?
Quickly.
Ooh, quickly. All right, in the video game bracket, number 1, the returning bracket champion is Sephiroth from Final Fantasy, up against number 16, Bowser. Number 8, Mega Man, and all of his powers. Okay, keep in mind, everyone is at their prime, versus number 9, Kefka from Final Fantasy. Number 5, Kerrigan from StarCraft fame against number 12, Cloud Strife. That matchup will be fun. That's going to be a good one. Number 4, Arthas from World of Warcraft against number 13, Samus Aran.
Ooh.
The bounty hunter of bounty hunters. Number 6, Dante from Devil May Cry against number 11, Sonic the Hedgehog.
There you go.
Don't count Sonic out of that one. Number 3, and this is a new one for us, Oni from Super Street Fighter 4 against number 14, Tracer.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here. No, I can't do it.
And then here's an oldie but a goodie. I don't know how this worked out, but it just magically turned out that number 7 is Link. He'll face off against number 10, Ganondorf. I mean, come on.
It just happens.
How did we do that? Oh, jeez. It's almost a bye for Link. And then the winner of that matchup will face number 2 versus number 15, and that's Kirby versus Master Chief. That's an intriguing opening round matchup. So there you have it. There's our breakdown. There is our second annual Geeky March Madness tournament. Going forward, you can still sign up until Tuesday night at getyourgeekon.org.
And again, we're going to be based on 5 criteria: strength, intelligence, durability, and stamina. Those 3 will be decided by the Get Your Geek On March Madness judges.
Yep. We have a lovely committee all set up.
Yes. And then you get your voice heard on Facebook. You will vote in each of these matches throughout the tournament to decide who you would pick. And then the randomizer that could change the course of the tournament, that is a D20 roll in every match.
Now, I have to admit, some of these matchups may be a little unfair on paper. I mean, come on, Magneto versus Doctor Doom. All Magneto has to do is squeeze his fingers, and Doctor Doom's head just goes squick.
And at the same time, Doctor Strange versus the Hulk, all I have to do is just say, cast a spell, and Hulk ends up on the other side of the galaxy.
Yes.
Pretty much.
But if the committee is 2 out of the 3, the fans pick the other person, and then the D20, it comes down to the D20. Who knows?
It's entirely possible. I mean, upsets happen all the time. That's why it's the madness. It's March Madness. Because I know what's going to happen, okay? Let's assume, it's Thor and Venom. I mean, there's no way that Venom should beat Thor. But let's say it happens. It's the March Madness. It's not necessarily about who would win in a fight. So that's a lot of fun. Vision versus Rogue is going to be my opening matchup to watch. I'm going to love that one. That's going to be
I got my
fantastic.
picks for Wonder Woman to win it all. That's my pick.
All right, so coming up after the bottom of the hour news break, we got a little Star Wars news. We got a lot of DC news, and not a lot of it's good. Plus our Black Panther review and prediction coming up right after this. Yes, indeed, we are back here after the bottom of the hour news break on 9:30 a.m. The Answer Talk Radio, 9:30 a.m. TheAnswer.com. This is Get Your Geek On, and I am Dave Gramillion. And if you missed the first half of our show, you can check it out on our archive, which you can find at SoundCloud.com, Stitcher.com, as well as iTunes as well. It is always updated every Tuesday morning, so you can listen to that at work, on the road, wherever and whenever you like. We talked all March Madness. A little bit of show news, but it was all March Madness. Where to sign up, who's in it, the almost $1,000 prize pool that is up for grabs. And we've already talked about some intriguing matchups that are there, so you can sign up at getyourgeekon.org. Don't put it off. It closes at Tuesday, 11:59 p.m. Central Time, and once it closes, it closes. That's it. I can't open it back up again, so if you don't get your bracket picks in, sorry, we'll see you in 2019. Yeah. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and kick off just a little bit of Star Wars news here, shall we?
I'm looking forward to completing your training. In time, you will call me Master.
Alrighty, so just a little bit of news to get here. Reports are coming out that a Star Wars film crew is on its way to Belfast, Ireland, to possibly film a Kenobi spin-off movie.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the green of Ireland would fit into a Kenobi movie.
Unless I'm thinking when I saw this news, I had an idea.
Flashback,
do we
maybe?
yeah, flashback to Ireland. But no, what I was thinking was, how do we know this is for any spin-off? What are their scouting locations for Episode 9?
Well, that's a possibility because they are going to start shooting either in June or July, according to the sources that I have. But all signs are starting to point to a possible Kenobi movie.
Or something that Rian Johnson may be doing.
It's possible.
Or the guys from Games of Thrones.
Now, here's what's intriguing is that according to the reports and the rumors and everything else out there, George Lucas himself visited the area for location scouting. And that was back in November of 2017. Okay, first two things. One, it's entirely possible that George Lucas took the $2 billion that he has in Disney stock and decided to go off and, I don't know, visit Ireland for a vacation. That's entirely possible. I can't rule that out. I mean, Belfast is very nice. At least I assume in November it's nice. I really don't know. I've never been myself, but it's entirely possible he went there just to have fun. But here's the second thing. I don't want a Kenobi movie. I didn't want one then, and I don't want one now. I'm tired of it. I really am. We've already had 6 movies with Obi-Wan Kenobi, plus the Clone Wars, plus the Rebels. He has spent more time on screen than any other character in Star Wars history. Why do I need a standalone movie for him?
What, not even the droids?
Even more than the droids?
No, because the droids, you have droids.
Well, no, that didn't last long, though.
It lasted like a season.
Yeah, and then we have 6 seasons of Clone Wars.
Well, the droids were even in the spin-off. They were in Rogue One
Yeah, for a few minutes.
for a few seconds.
Yeah,
they were
that-
there for there, but
They
then
were
they've
in,
been-
so far, 7 movies.
Yeah, but seriously, though, if you want to compare screen time, I mean, I think the time that Force Ghost Kenobi spent in Return of the Jedi, probably more than what the droids had in all the Clone Wars series combined.
I wouldn't go. Well, maybe not, but I mean, the droids actually did have some great episodes in Clone Wars.
But my point remains, though, is that I'm tired of Kenobi. Why does he need a standalone movie? What possible
Wait.
story could there be for a Kenobi standalone
here we
movie?
go.
So you're saying Kenobi's getting a solo movie?
Hey,
Ah, no. Boo. No, but I'm serious. What story needs to be told from Kenobi? What don't we know?
Him
building
getting taken from his parents?
Him building sandcastles in the sand?
No, it's
No.
no one will be seated during the endless debate when he's talking to Jawas.
Hooray!
Yeah, you know.
And when he
Hooray!
defeats his first sand person.
We've seen him as a Padawan, we've seen him as a Jedi Knight, and we've seen him as a ghost. What did we... Seriously, I want people to tell me this. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO radio, and you tell me what story we need to be told from Kenobi.
We can have that one party weekend where he went down and actually checked out all the wretched hives of scum and villainy. It's Kenobi's party weekend. There you go.
That's
That's
it.
the party movie. That's it. That's the movie.
The title will be called Weekend at Kenobi's.
There we go. Breaking news.
There it
We
is.
got it.
We've got the movie title
We
right
got it
there.
right
Weekend at
We
Kenobi's.
did it.
It's the comedy we've always wanted.
And nobody asked for it.
And then up next will be, I like this, Peter Panapiento. I'm sorry if I butcher names. In our Facebook chat, he says next up is Leia. We'll get...
See, that one would be interesting because if she is Organa the king of Alderaan,
he's the Viceroy, I think.
Viceroy.
so would that make her a princess? Because she really didn't have that title on Alderaan.
Well, no.
Her mom was a queen.
Was Queen.
Right,
Right.
Queen Amidala, but that wouldn't make
No. Her actual.
No,
her-
Brea,
Oh.
Brea Organa
Yeah,
was
she
Queen
was,
of Alderaan.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I think Belle just married in.
Yeah, pretty much. So you could have Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things
Who looks
be Princess Leia in a prequel.
Yeah.
So on our Facebook chat, we had a great idea. So Kenobi's Force Ghost could be talking to Rey, and it could be How I Met Your Grandmother.
Hey, I like that. That's pretty good. And we can see him eating taco Donna, as Brian Donahoe suggests. Oh goodness! But seriously, I mean, I don't want a Kenobi story. I've never wanted and don't you dare give me a Yoda one.
How about a Palpatine one?
Swear to God, a Yoda story I may not go to. If
How about
that's the case.
Palpatine? You know, how he became Darth Sidious, who his teacher was.
I'm tired of it though.
How about a early Luke movie? You know, this.
No,
I'd say an Ewok movie, but we got 2 of those already.
yeah, we're good. Plus the series. Yeah, so we're good there. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and we're going to move on here just a little
Thank
bit.
God.
But, I mean, if anybody gives me a reason for a good Kenobi story, please let me know over at our Facebook
If anybody will
page.
give me a good Kenobi story.
Yeah,
And it'll all be sponsored by Blue Milk.
yeah. Well,
I
better
think-
than green milk.
Green Milk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
Or
you
we
go.
could just have it be sponsored by the Omni in Corpus Christi, right by the sand.
Hey, that makes sense. Alrighty, so with that being said, let's
the
move
Sands
on, and
Hotel in
we're
Vegas.
going to talk about some DCEU news. Now, every time we talk DCEU news, it's usually something down, depressing, disappointing, and something just, it never really leaves anybody with a good, warm, fuzzy feeling. It just doesn't. And this news is no exception. Entertainment reporter Josh Dickey is leaving the industry. He's gone. He's out. He doesn't want to do any more entertainment reporting. Good for him. He's moving on. So he tweeted a series of links about his time with Warner Brothers. Bunch of claims of this, rumor that, this was confirmed, this was not. One of the claims was that Zack Snyder did not leave the Justice League project voluntarily. Now, what we were told back in the day was that his daughter had committed suicide. It was a very traumatic time for him and his wife and his family, and he was stepping away on his own from Justice League to go deal with that.
In fact, we even had a Snyder bashing ban.
We did, out of respect for the poor guy. I mean, I really felt for him. Now it appears that he was fired instead of took a step back on his own. Collider is also backing up the tweet, reporting that Warner Brothers fired Zack Snyder either in January or February of last year, months before he announced he was stepping away to deal with the death of his daughter.
Months, you say?
Fired. Kicked to the curb. Gone. Dunskies.
You fired.
Hey, that was pretty good. I like that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. Now, according to Matt Goldberg over at Collider, he heard that Snyder's rough cut of the Justice League movie was, quote, unwatchable.
Yeah, I saw that. Wasn't that Superman versus Batman?
Yeah. Wow. Sick burn. So an unwatchable copy is what led to his alleged now firing. Now we know that some executives.
So much for the director cut.
We know that some executives wanted Snyder out after Batman Superman,
And so did some of the fans.
and so did a lot of the fans.
It's one of which is in this room.
He shall remain nameless at this time, but I will say that his initials do rhyme with Goose. Oh, wait. No, that's not. Oh, we're going to edit that out, right? I'm just checking to make sure.
No, we be live. son.
Totally editing that out. So, all right. So, studio boss Silverman backed Snyder. He wanted to give him one more chance. Let's see what happens. And less than 1 year later, Silverman was also fired by the Warner Brothers CEO, which put Zack Snyder on the chopping block. That would be a horrific bombshell if it really was true that he was fired months ahead of time.
Well, what I heard was he was so engrossed in Justice League at the time. By the time Batman versus Superman came out and got the reaction, that they couldn't exactly remove him and have it be clean.
Yeah.
So this was a convenient out for them, and so they took it.
Now, last week I was pretty sick. I had a fever. It was not fun. It was not a good time. Went through boxes of Kleenex. It was and somehow this is how sick I was. I ended up watching Batman Superman on Amazon Instant Prime.
The regular or the extended cut?
Regular.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so I'm just clicking, and I'm like, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that. I don't. Okay, let's see what happens. And
So
it's just as bad as I remember.
So
it.
you chose that over like Andromeda or Earth Final Conflict?
Yeah, I didn't make it that deep into the lineup. I was like, I'm sick.
Well,
Okay, I can't push the button anymore. Just hit play.
okay. Well, if you had a fever, you could have used more cowbell.
Well, that is a pretty good prescription
That's
there.
true,
That's very good there, man. Very
you.
good. Now, another report indicates that Warner Brothers is less than pleased with Ben Affleck's performance thus far. Originally, what they wanted, and this came out of the report itself, they wanted him to be, for the DCEU, what Robert Downey Jr. was for Marvel.
Because that's always worked for DC, is have a long-time guy stick around.
Yeah, like Michael like Christopher Valkill.
Brandon...
Oh, yeah, jeez. Oh, man.
George...
Oh, no.
Christian...
Well, that's 3 movies. He was around.
Christopher Reeve did 4.
Well, but it's Batman, though.
But only 2 of them were any good.
Yeah, that's true. No, there wasn't a 4th Superman movie. There were only 3.
Yeah, 1 and 2 were actually good.
We had 1 and 2, and then the
Donner
Richard
cut.
Pryor thing.
And then the one with nuclear.
No,
head.
no, that didn't happen. That was a dream. That was a nightmare that we all had, that we all shared.
That was Christopher Reeve's payment for doing Superman 3 is what that was.
Now, here's the thing. Robert Downey Jr. is the face of Marvel. I don't think there's any doubting that whatsoever. More so than Chris Evans, more so than Scarlett Johansson. You think Marvel, you think Robert Downey Jr. And that's what the DCEU wanted for Ben Affleck, for him to be the face of the franchise going forward. Okay, first of all, that's not fair.
No, not at all.
It's not even a little bit fair because, Robert Downey Jr. had a solo movie that focused on him. The first Iron Man movie kicked off Marvel. Ben Affleck has yet to have a solo movie that focused on him.
Okay, also, and to kind of, maybe to come to Ben's defense here, if I may. Here we go. As both of y'all look at me.
Okay. I'm all ears. I can't wait to hear this one.
Okay, in a way, you can't really compare. Dang it. Okay, I deserve that one. No, but you can't compare Tony Stark to Bruce Wayne. You can't.
Right.
Well, actually, you can.
You can, even though
They're
Tony's
both brilliant. They're both rich.
Yeah, but even though Tony
both
may
have
be
gadgets.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that Tony's the guy that you want to hang out with,
Batman had Kim Basinger
and he did Basinger
in her prime.
anyway,
And Nicole Kidman.
And Nicole, in her prime.
And Michelle Pfeiffer.
In her prime.
Okay. Can I go now?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay.
Hans.
Okay. No, I just think that that Batfleck that he wasn't that bad. He actually he did carry Batman versus Superman. He did. He also looked very much like the comic. version of Batman.
Now, I will say this:
he didn't do it too bad for Bruce Wayne. I mean, if you're going to have, if you're going to compare, obviously Keaton and Bale, everybody's going to always say which one was the better one. To be behind third place between those two isn't bad. And his Batman was very close to what I read for many years in the comics.
Now, all right, so Robert Downey Jr. had the first Iron Man, all about him, and he was made for that part.
Right.
Ben Affleck didn't get anything until Batman Superman, which, yeah, he was a pretty good Bruce Wayne.
Right.
But, yeah.
He's
Robert Downey Jr. was given a role that he could have fun with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he injected a little flexibility and a little quirkiness. Remember the blueberries in Avengers?
Yeah.
All right, he could do that. Batman is brooding. He's dark. He's tortured. There's not much you can do with that.
There is a lot you
The
can do with
DCEU is dark and brooding and tortured.
And tortured,
so
yeah,
are the
yeah.
viewers.
Yeah, no kidding. So really, Ben Affleck was doomed from the start. And it really does show a lack of vision from the DCEU. You can't make a guy be the face of your franchise first and have him be Batman. I'm sorry, that's not going to work on film. And secondly, you can't do that and not give him his own movie.
So you're saying he needed his own solo movie?
If they wanted to make Ben Affleck the Robert Downey Jr. of the DCEU, then they should not have let off with Man of Steel.
They should have started off with the Batman movie.
With the Batman. They should have let off with that, and then gone Man of Steel, and then another Batman movie with Joker and Harley, and then you can go into Batman Superman.
No, Nick, he did not need Matt Damon as Robin.
Matt Damon.
Okay.
Matt Damon. So that's kind of what I was getting at here, is that I don't really blame Affleck for the hand that was dealt to him by the DCEU. I blame Warner Brothers is who I blame. I mean, it's not his fault.
And if anything, Henry Cavill could be the RDJ of DC because he kicked it off with Man of Steel.
He did, and it's a solo movie that focuses on him. He certainly looks the part. He acts the part. They just didn't have Superman do anything really heroic.
And he has evolved as a character over the 3 movies he's been in.
Now, we had this discussion in our Get Your Geek On group on Facebook, and I asked the question, what's the one thing that the DCEU could do immediately to make it better going forward? And one of the answers was have Superman do something heroic. Have him do Superman things, which I kind of agree with.
Like defeat Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
But that you don't need in a montage.
That you don't need a montage. Yeah, he needed to be, Henry Cavill needed to be the Superman in Superman Returns. Not that Brandon Routh didn't do an awful job, but if you're going to go with a little bit more of a darker, more serious Superman, then Henry's your guy, not Routh.
Well, but by the way, Singer wasn't looking to make a new Superman. He was looking to recreate Christopher Reeve.
Yes, with people who looked like they were cosplaying instead of actual actors.
Superman costume was horrible.
And not only that, but what was the name of the girl who was who was Lois in that movie?
For which one?
I keep thinking of Amy Adams, but that's not her. The one in Superman Returns.
Oh,
she looked
Rachel McAdams.
No, Rachel McAdams was not in that
Kate
movie.
Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale.
No, it was Kate Beckinsale.
Was it Kate Beckinsale?
Kate.
Hang on.
God, I can't remember.
Gosh.
But
Darn it. It's
Bosworth.
Kate Bosworth.
Kate Bosworth, yeah.
She looked like she was 15 years old in that movie.
Yeah.
Trying little
Like she
girl
was
dressing
in-
up in mama's clothes and all that. I mean,
Yeah.
it looked,
She looked like Lois Lane's daughter.
Yeah, that's about right. So that just
She was nowhere near the age of Margot Kidder.
Yeah, not even a little bit. I mean, that was just awful. So anyway, so with that being said, we're starting to run short on time. This is the fastest hour on radio. I swear it
We
is.
just got here.
So let's go ahead and check out some Marvel news. We're going to talk Black Panther, reviews, and predictions here on Get Your Geek On.
This is that sequel to the smash hit with no equal. This one's for the true fans with Hulk hands and action figures flying.
Alrighty, so Black Panther is upon us now, and while the weekend is not entirely over, it's starting to shape up to be just a monster of a movie. Now, I got to see this on Monday, courtesy of the Levinson Group. They invited me out to a special screening over at the Silverado 16 Theater, and got to sit down and watch this sucker in 3D. And here's my brief and spoiler-free review on the Black Panther. It is not the greatest Marvel movie ever.
That's a shocker.
It is a very good movie. I'd put it up on my top 3. but it's not the best Marvel movie ever. I still think, personally, that goes to Civil War.
Racist.
Well, yeah. Oh, boy. It didn't take long for that to come out, did it? No, it's still a great movie, and believe me, it's going to break all sorts of box office records, and everyone's going to go see it. That being said, yeah, there were a few issues. First of all, the biggest issue for me was the 3D. Good God, the 3D was awful. There's only one moment where the 3D really pays off. The rest of the time, it's just a gimmick. And trust me, you'll know, if you do see it in 3D, you'll know which moment I'm talking about. But it was, I actually watched most of the movie with the glasses off. The colors were so muted and the movie was so dark with those glasses on that I would rather take them off and deal with a little bit of blurriness than leave them on and go, I'm sorry, who's that? What's happening? I don't get it.
2 more beers and that blurriness would have been gone.
Hey, I would have been perfectly in sync. So I'd give it probably about an 8 out of 10. Michael Jordan is tremendous in this movie.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Y'all are going to love the villain in this movie. I will say that. It is also the greatest Marvel movie for the ladies. And I don't mean that because our 2 main characters are ripped. And I mean like Thor ripped. No, it's because the ladies rock in this movie. They are tremendous. Y'all are going to love the ladies in Black Panther. So 8 out of 10, I would give it. Just really great. It was pretty cool. So let's go ahead and talk predictions, because I know y'all haven't seen Black Panther yet because, again, just came out this weekend. Predictions. Originally, people were thinking 110 million. Then they revised the estimate up to 130 million. I'm actually calling $165 million opening weekend.
Really?
Now, the current record is being, for the month of February, is being held by Deadpool at 132 million. And I think it's not even going to be close. I'm calling 165. It's going to blow apart the Deadpool record.
Oh, it is, huh?
It will. Yes, it will. Now, the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 was 169 million opening weekend. Beauty and the Beast was 174. So I don't think it's going to be that high, but I am calling my shot at $165 million opening weekend. Minion?
Oh, okay. I'm going to say 170.
170.
Ooh.
You went over my helmet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not so much over you, huh? We're around.
Around the side there. So 170 from
I say
Minion.
170.
Goose, what's your shot?
167.5.
Really? We're gonna be that close to each other, all of us? You're gonna split the difference?
Why not?
What a cop out! Boo!
Fine. 162.
162. Okay, I'll call 165. Goose calls 162. Minion calls 170. And you were all surprised when I said 165, and here you go calling 170.
I'm just grasping.
And are we doing Prices Right rules?
No, we are not. It's whoever's closest wins. Now we ought to have a bet going. We really should have a bet going.
Okay.
All right. Well, okay.
Well, then
Well, what are we
that's
getting?
after the show.
Oh no. Well, okay. Maybe we'll come up with something after the show, but we should have a bet going for these box office predictions. I think that'd be fun. Loser gets a pie to the face or something. I don't know.
How about a dunk tank?
I'm not made of money, so no. That's no. I'm not
just
going.
go to SeaWorld.
I'm not going in a dunk tank.
Not even with the Sharkies?
No.
Not with the Penguins?
No. By the way, here's your other Google fact of the night. If you don't believe me, look this up. The 50 Shades franchise hit $1 billion worldwide.
You bunch of sickos.
50. Just remember, okay?
This is why I'm calling.
The 50 Shades franchise hit $1 billion.
Okay, so comic fans, this is your chance to sing 50 Shades. Go out there and see Black Panther.
Oh, I think they're going to go at it there anyway. But
Go see it more than once.
Yeah, $1 billion for 50 Shades. So,
Shut up, Wesley.
165.
Shut up, Wesley.
165 opening million for week. Wow, it is late, isn't it? $165 million opening weekend is my prediction for Black Panther. Minion calls 170 and Goose calls 162. Oddly specific, but whatever floats your boat.
So if it's 163 and a half,
Flip a coin.
do we have to go further to the significant?
Yeah,
digits?
we have to get down to the dollar to the dollar amount, the exact dollar. If we have to get down to the cents, we will. I mean, we'll find a way to make that happen. We'll call it Fandango or something. I don't know. We'll make something up as we go along.
Oh, Lord.
All righty. So let's see.
So don't forget to sign up for the March Madness at getyourgeekon.org. Again, we got a wonderful, great prize pool there for you. Again, three things are done by the committee.
Yes.
And that's strength, durability,
and
intellect. Then you have a voice. You're going to be on the Facebook page where you get to vote who you think should win. And then the great randomizer, the D20 roll, comes into play. So get your brackets on. You have till Tuesday night, 11:59 Central Time.
Yeah, don't put this off. Go to getyourgeekon.org and sign up. Make your bracket picks. We're giving away a HyperX bundle from HyperX. Dallas Fuel has contributed a team autographed jersey. We've got board games, variant comics, statues, pair of passes to SeaWorld, a party from Laser Legend. Nightwatch Games is on this. Dragon's Lair Alamo Ranch is in on this. You better be in on this too. Participant prize. You can get t-shirts from Legion M, even if you don't win on the brackets. Alrighty, so that'll wrap it up here. We want to wish y'all a very happy and pleasant good evening. We're done. Y'all have a good night.